Now let's catch up and have a talk about this great new single, Fame, with Natalie Gauci.
All right then.
Hey, Natalie, congratulations on this new song. Brian and I love it.
Thank you. I'm very, that means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
Who wrote it?
I wrote it.
Wow, it's a really good song. It's a real earworm. It sort of just gets in your head and then you just can't get it out of your head. It's fantastic.
Well, that's the whole point of it, I
guess. Well, it's great. And I reckon it's a really great vocal performance from you. There's one bit sort of in the middle and I thought, geez, that bit almost sounds a bit like Pink Floyd where the chicks are going berserk in Pink Floyd. But, yeah, it's a really catchy pop song, and I think it'll do very well. I think it's terrific.
Well, we've had a really great start to it. When did I record it? I recorded this in March this year, and that vocal, it was just like something really special happened because it was just one take, the whole song. I just sang the whole thing in one go, and that's the vocal. Yeah. So that song is very autobiographical for me. It's a moment in time when I was probably coming out of my lowest time. So I really had to, I was just in my head so much about everything. And that song, I didn't even think it would see the light of day. But it kind of just was lurking in the background for a long time. And I brought it into the studio, played it to the producer, and he's just like, we've got to record this.
Not surprised.
So we did.
Natalie, you mentioned how personal the song is, and it's called Fame, and it talks about the good and the bad parts of fame, and you've obviously had your share of both of those, and fame as an Australian Idol winner. Was it an easy song to write?
Yeah, it was. I wrote it in about 15 minutes.
Good God.
But I was actually having therapy at the time. So I was living in London and my therapist was in Melbourne. And I told her that I wrote the song, and she said that it's very therapeutic for me and that one day I'm going to be telling that story to people. And she was absolutely right. And I didn't think about it then. I just thought, oh, probably not. Like, it's just going to be something I wrote to heal myself. But here we are.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
What were you doing in London, just out of interest?
So I actually I actually started my travels in Germany, and I lived in Berlin for just about 8 months. And I recorded an album while I was in Berlin. I started producing my own songs, and I wrote an album called Electric Field. And then I left Berlin because I realized that then I went to Sweden because I got signed by Warner Scandinavia over there, and they wanted to make me this like pop dance music, superstar in Sweden. And then I realized that I didn't want to be a puppet anymore. I didn't want to be that person that gets told what to do. I thought, no, I'm a singer-songwriter. I need to focus on being a singer-songwriter. So I went to London instead of coming back to Melbourne, because I felt like I'd failed my whole fans and everybody, because I left my label, I left Sony, and I just wasn't sure about what I wanted to do in my life and why I was famous. Like, this big question, why did I want to be famous? Why did I spend my whole life, blowing out my birthday candle with wishes? Like, I wish I was famous. I wish I was famous, but like, what for, And so I went on this journey to search for what the meaning of life is and why I wanted to be famous and why I wasn't being heard. And every single time I recorded a song with a producer, it never worked out. Like, the song would get recorded, but then nothing would happen. I'd do gigs and then things would go well, but then they go bad. And I'm thinking, what is going on? And I had to just stop and find love within myself first, before I had to externally get out there and be famous. Like, because I realized that it wasn't actually about being famous. It was about finding love inside my heart first, and then expressing that to people through my music. And then that was what was going to reach people, So and having my son actually taught me that I had to just take a step back, from being in the public and just loving my son, loving being a mum, loving people, loving what I do, loving my music, and not writing music to be famous. Because there's a massive difference in doing something to be famous and just doing something through love of the heart of writing a song, you know? And I think writing fame was that pivotal, I can't even say the word, pivotal point in my life where I just wrote a song not to be famous. So there you go.
Well, I think that's the right attitude. If you try to write a hit single, you'll write something pretty mediocre. If you just try to write something that pleases you, even if it doesn't work, at least you made something that you're proud of. Whereas, I've done records too that you sort of like, oh, I don't really like the way we're doing this. That's not how I intended it. But when you're really honest, I think the more honest you are with yourself, it's surprising how much other people relate to what you think is a personal feeling, and other people go, yeah, I feel that too. So
exactly.
I think the fact that you said that you wrote the song in 15 minutes, that says a lot to me, because I think all of the good songs, they are written pretty quickly, and the ones that you slave over, they tend to be just didn't quite get there, but the good ones come pretty quickly, I reckon. So so what's next? Are you going on the road, or?
I've got some shows coming up. We just put the song out on Friday, the 29th of September, and we got we got number 1 on the most streams of Play MPE.
Yep.
So the most streamed song, and then we got number 3 of the most downloaded song. So that was Friday, which was amazing. And then I've got shows coming up in November. I'm doing one at the TOF on the 9th. Of November. On the Thursday, I've got one on the Gold Coast on the 12th of November, and then I'm heading to Sydney to do. Yeah, come down and check it out. I'd love to see you guys.
I'm on the Gold Coast. I'll come and have a look at it.
The Carafe Wine Bar in Southport on the 12th of November.
It's a beautiful, beautiful little venue. It's going to be an intimate show with me and a guitarist. So it's just, I'm going to be showcasing songs from my album, because I've got an album coming out
brand new day in
August next year. Yep. So that's all been recorded, ready to go. And I've got another show in Sydney on the 16th of November in the Brass Monkey. Yep. So that's going to be awesome as well. Just another intimate show to get things going again. It's been a while since I've been back out there, nearly like 4 years or something. So
that's good.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
And people can follow your dates and all the info on social media, on Facebook, and also on your website, which you have.
Yes. So Natalie Gauci is my tag for social media, and nataliegauci.com is my website.
Well, we want to play people this song, so we're going to play that now, and going to say thanks, Nat, for joining us. Good luck with the album next year, and the tour dates, as you mentioned, on the 9th of November at the TOF in Melbourne is where you'll be for the first of those shows, and then up on the Gold Coast, where we'll get that intervention order and make sure Brian can't be there.
I'll be there. I know the coppers, so it'll be all right.
I'm sure you do. Natalie, good luck. Congratulations on this single. We're dying to play it for people because it is really, really good, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Kevin, and I'll see you at my show. Take care.
Drugs and the money, but in my head I keep falling. 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 In my head. 'Cause I keep falling. In my head 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 I keep falling way. got me wanting all the good things, wanting all the good things, wanting all the good things, good things. Love's got me wanting all the simple things, wanting all the simple things. Feel it on my fingertips. The opportunity came from underground. All I had to do was listen to the sound. It got me bowled over. It got me on the ground. But in my head, I keep falling. 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 In my it keeps calling. It keeps calling me. It keeps calling, 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 calling me. Fame got me wanting all the bad things, wanting all the bad things. Got me on the bad